Hi guys, my name is Alex, real estate expert at Inside, and today we're going to be discussing a beautiful project in Ras Al Khaimah and Ras Al Khaimah, the Emirate overall, and why it's a very high potential area for real estate investment at the moment. Here we have the UAE, from Abu Dhabi over here to Dubai, over here to Sharjah, to Ras Al Khaimah over here in the north. So an interesting thing to note about Ras Al Khaimah is that there is already a significant existing tourism infrastructure. Actually, last year, over 1 million tourists visited Ras Al Khaimah, and it has a unique climate. It has mountains for hiking. Also, the world's longest zip line is actually in Ras Al Khaimah. It's almost 3 kilometers long. And its proximity to Oman also makes it an attractive place for some of my clients who have business there to choose Ras Al Khaimah as their place of living. Now here, Ras Al Khaimah, or RAK for short, the main area, the main city is where most of the locals live, and where we actually are going to focus on is slightly below this. Where we want to look today is 3 areas. Now, I should mention each one of these is a freehold zone, meaning as an expat or someone living abroad, non-resident, you can easily acquire property here and fully own it, resell it, rent it out. So that's an important thing to know. Now, the 3 zones we're going to be talking about are Al Marjan over here, islands, the Al Hamra village over here, and Mina Al Arab. And then we're going to dive specifically into Al Hamra village, into a project called Falcon Island by Al Hamra, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, what's important to know about this area? Why are people speaking more and more about Ras Al Khaimah? In 2027, in January 2027, Wynn will be opening its first casino, the first casino in all of UAE, and it will be twice as big as their casino in Las Vegas. Now, this is actually a pretty big deal considering casinos have historically not been allowed in the UAE and in many Muslim countries. And the fact that the government is making this decision to enable this is showing you where they're thinking in terms of allowing more business and more tourism and inviting that into the Emirate. Now, Wynn is going to be building on this island over here, and right now the remainder of these islands are kind of scant. There's not that much going on. There's some mid-range resorts and hotels over here, and there's a lot of construction slated to be happening here, but mainly they're empty. There is a couple grocery stores, there's a Rixus over here, but overall it kind of feels like, you know, you're driving through Orlando, Florida. Now, over the next 2 to 3 years, obviously this is going to change. So 2 of the biggest developers in the UAE, Emirate and Aldar, have both been allotted quite a significant amount of land here on Al Marjan Island to be developed over the next 2 to 3 years prior to the casino opening. What this means is real estate prices are going to go way up in the coming years, and right now is a really good opportunity to get in early and to capitalize on this growth in the coming years. Let's move on. And also I should mention that just because there is a casino here doesn't mean it will be restricted to gambling. So similarly, there will be a lot of entertainment, so opportunities for world famous performing artists to come and do shows there and concerts. There will also be really high-end, high-quality restaurants coming here. So there will be additional angles to consider as to why this area is going to grow beyond just the gaming aspect. Let's move on to Al Hamra village. This is, in my opinion, the most interesting part of Ras Al Khaimah in terms of investment at the moment, largely because there's already a lot of existing infrastructure. There is a golf course over here. There's a marina being even further developed with cafes and restaurants. There's a Waldorf Astoria, a Ritz-Carlton. So there's already a lot of high-end amenities and already existing community of people who choose to make this home or their resort destination. Now, we're going to come back to this island here. This is Falcon Island, as I mentioned earlier, and we'll delve into this shortly. But for right now, just know that there's already a high assortment of high-end amenities here that draws people from all over the world, and this is only going to increase going forward with the advent of the new casino. Now, let's talk about this last area over here, Mina Al Arab, and this left island is already mainly developed with slightly older residential buildings, and then this island on the right is less so at the moment, and where a lot of development will be happening in the next couple years, namely projects like Armani Residences, Nikki Beach, as well as another project by Ellington will be happening here in the coming years. And there's already an Intercontinental and Antara resorts being developed here. So there's already a sprinkling of, let's say, higher end 5-star plus flavor happening here, but a little bit less so than Al Hamra Village, as I mentioned earlier. Now, right now I'm going to guide you through a brief presentation on Falcon Island so that you can see for yourself, both visually and numerically, why I think it presents a beautiful investment at this time. Now here you can see the concept for the island at nighttime, and you might note that a lot of the villas are in very close proximity to the water. And this is an important thing because when it's on the water, this obviously drives prices up, demand up, and makes for a really good investment when you can get in at a good price. And if you're considering something like this in Dubai, for instance, on the Palm, or even on Emirate Beachfront, properties like this are going to often cost upwards of 10, 20 plus million dirham. And here at the moment, it's possible to get in for under that. We'll get into the details here in a second. As I mentioned, you can see that you're about 30 minutes from the airport in Ras Al Khaimah itself, and then from Dubai, this area, Ras Al Khaimah, is only 45 to 60 minutes. So if you have a business meeting in town, or you just want to go hang out at the Burj Khalifa or the Palm, you can be there in just under an hour. So it's very close proximity. Let's look a little bit closer at the master plan. Now, as I mentioned, already existing golf course, the Marina over here. An important thing to note is there will also be a ferry coming from here to Falcon Island that goes directly to the Wynn, to the casino, which is a really nice amenity if you want to come back after a concert, for instance, and just be on the water. Now, when we look at a little bit closer, there is a total of 502 units overall in this project, from 2-bedroom townhomes to 7-bedroom villas. At the moment, most of these have already been sold out. Now, you can see that quite a lot of these are directly on the beach, and as this is a private and gated community, the number of residents and number of visitors to that beach will be very, very limited, and so you'll have the entire place almost to yourself. Now, how many of these are actually left? Answer is just 10. Out of 502 units, only 10 are remaining, and only 8 of those are 4-bedroom villas, which are ranging from 7.8 to 8.3 million dirham. And the payment plan actually for this project is quite fantastic. Now, the 20% down payment and then 40% during construction is more or less standard in the real estate industry here in the UAE. However, the 40% post-handover payment plan is a really nice feature. What this means is after the apartment, or the villa in this case, hands over, 40% of the value you're going to be paying for 3 years after, which means you're able to rent the unit out and to receive rental income while that covers most, if not all, or above your mortgage payments. Now, the other nice thing here is there is in Ras Al Khaimah also a 4% land department tax, but in this case, 2% of it is subsidized by the developer, Al Hamra, who also developed Ritz-Carlton and Waldorf Astoria, so they really know what they're doing. And the other 2% is due, actually, unlike in Dubai, where it's due up front, here it's due on the back end, meaning it will be due with the last payment in June of 2028, which is another nice perk. When we look specifically at this 4-bedroom villa, it's 2 floors, has 3,800 square feet, and this gives us a price of just a little bit over 2,000 dirhams per square foot. Now, just for context, beachfront property in Dubai that is either on the Palm or in Emirate Beachfront or nearby, we're looking at average prices of about 4,500 dirham per square foot compared to 2,000 here. So just to give you context, it's almost half as expensive to buy in right now, but in my opinion, it's not going to last long at all, and these prices are going to skyrocket in the next couple years. Now, the price, as I mentioned, is in this case 7.8 million dirham, just a little bit over $2 million, and the rental income will easily be above 10% because existing infrastructure, existing villas around Falcon Island are 10 to 14 years old right now, and they are already renting out at 300,000 to 400,000 dirham a year. And when this project launches, it will be brand new modern luxury villas on the water that will easily be rented for 700 to 800 to million plus per year, giving you a rental income of 10+% even in a long-term perspective. We're not even talking about medium-term or Airbnb style rentals here. Here you can see the floor plans. As typical of villas of this quality, there is a driver's room, maid's room, really beautiful, spacious environment for the family, a huge terrace, and the bedrooms, most of them are upstairs. And you can see this in more detail. Please reach out to us. We'll be happy to share this with you. And in terms of the specifics of this project, as I mentioned, it's a master plan community, meaning it's already built with community in mind, and there's already existing infrastructure with existing tourists around this particular project, which is going to be driving its value beyond just the casino opening next door. Now, another aspect that is important is there is a marina that you can go to that's very close by, and also the ferry to the casino, which makes it seamless to be integrated into this community itself, as well as the broader Ras Al Khaimah community, especially when the casino launches. Looking at the numbers, here I created a scenario for if we choose to resell within 2 years. Now, by that point, you will have paid 70% of the value and will be partially through the post-handover payment plan. And by that point, the value of this property will be easily 10.5 plus million dirham. And you can see that this will give you an annual return of over 20%. And from my perspective, this is a conservative scenario and actually will be higher. So what this means is, this gives you the opportunity to resell either in 2 years or 5 years or later. It also gives you a fantastic opportunity to rent it out and receive rental income. So you get really quite a good investment deal. And as I mentioned, there's only 10 of these left. So if this is interesting, please don't hesitate so that you can snag one of these units. You can see in the pictures here that the villas are very modern, very spacious, very bright, views of the water, and give a very good feeling when you're there. You can see here from this aerial view that this will be quite an astounding area to just visit, to be a part of, and this will be in very high demand, both from travelers who are coming to the casino, as well as people who want to come play a round of golf, or maybe send their loved ones to RAK for the summer. Now, it's also worth noting that nearby Ellington will be launching a project soon near Ritz-Carlton. We already have more than 10 clients who are joining in for that project, and there will continuously be new and interesting projects happening in RAK or Ras Al Khaimah in the coming couple years. Now, of course, the earlier you get in, the more of an upside potential you have. And so it's my invitation to you that, if you enjoyed this video, if you feel inspired, if you have, money to invest and you want to capitalize on this opportunity, please reach out to me directly. I'd be happy to create a investment strategy specific for you, whether it's for rental or resale or even for living, for this or any other projects. And also, of course, if you have any other questions, please reach out. We'll be happy to support you. So thank you for watching and see you next time.